All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Happy New Year 2026. I missed you guys. I'm so happy to be back here with you. I got, you know, getting over the holidays, finished eating my strufelas and all the Italian pastries and all the junk. I really have to fix the eating. But anyway, here we are, New Year. You know what I love when they say, like, New Year, new me? It's like, bitch, please, you are the same old person, but you're going to try to better yourself. I always say, you don't wait till the new year to try to better yourself. You should be, we always should be trying to better ourselves. So, yeah, welcome back. Oh, and we have our new little sign. Be the light. I'm not saying that's my motto of the year. That's kind of just something I've been vibing with in general. Like, I feel like I've said it a lot of times on the podcast. I believe in that. I truly do. I believe that, a lot of people always say there's so much darkness in this world. There's so much darkness. And I always say the only way that you can't defeat darkness. Remember, it's yin and yang. So it's supposed to be here, but you can shine your light. And the more light we have in the world, the less darkness, I guess I would say, the less the darkness is strong. So that sounded very Yoda-like. The less the darkness is strong, if you be the light. So there you go. So yes, welcome our new little 2026 upgrade there. Anyway, so let's get to our shiny crystal. Actually, this week, it's the shiny rock. Okay. My shiny crystal of the week is a listener, Dana. I'm not going to fulfill her, her full name. Dana I'll give you a little backstory on Dana. Dana actually is a mutual friend that I met years and years and years ago. She used to come to my comedy shows, and she's just always been such a uplifting, very communicative person, and I've always just adored her. Like, she used to come to the shows and just always give me feedback and just was a positive person, and I just loved her. Like, she always inspired me. Like, it's good for people who are putting themselves out there and doing things like this, or performing, or doing a podcast, or we love to hear that it's resonating with people, or how it's affecting people, or it's not about building my ego. Oh, you're so funny, you're so this. No, it's it just makes you feel inspired to keep going and to keep putting yourself out there. So Dana's always been a shining light to me in my journeys of my endeavors or whatever I was doing. So why I'm naming Dana the Shiny Crystal is because she watched, she watches all the episodes, and she always has fun feedback for me, and she'll analyze the episode or talk to me about the episode, and I just love it. It's just really cool, and I love her feedback. I like her humor as well. And she was talking about the reincarnate or reincarnate segment. Now, also, side note, what I'm loving about this new segment is I've had a bunch of people reach out to me and say how the reincarnate segment had them thinking about, when they were on their walk, they would just be oh, I started thinking about what it would be like to be a snowflake because it had snowed in New York. And, and then another person had said, I was thinking about, what I would want to reincarnate at, so I saw a flower and I thought to myself. So I love that it's provoking thought, and it's just making people be more empathetic, I guess, or tap into their empathy of connecting to a non-human thing and, saying what they would feel or what their experience would be. So I love that in many people's day-to-day, the reincarnate section is resonating and, provoking thought. So Dana, so adorable. She told me about she also mentioned the snow one, and then she mentioned the rock. So she wrote this cute poem about a rock, and I got her clearance to read it. And what else she said when I asked her if I could read the poem to you guys, she had expressed that she loves to write, and that a friend of hers actually has been trying to push her to, show her writings or to, present them to people, publicly or socially. So I was like, that's awesome. I'm like, let me be one of the people who presents it to the people. So I'm going to read you her poem that she wrote about the rock. She had said that she was walking, and let's see what she said about it. The reincarnate segment, the rock. Okay, yeah. So she wrote this cute poem about the rock, and I just love it. So, dear rock, please provide me with the stability that I am unable to provide myself. If I can absorb even a fraction of your strength, trust, and endurance, I will consider myself blessed. Although I seem grounded and firm in my journey, internally I couldn't feel further away from the ground. From up above, everything is both clearer to see, yet harder to focus on. Love that line. That's mostly due to fear, denial, or anything else that blurs my vision. I speak to the angels and share my thoughts and inquiries, yet I disregard their wisdom when they speak back to me. We all do that. I help others out, but don't adhere to the same advice for myself. Thank you for allowing me to walk on you when I need to find my footing, for sitting on you when I need to rest, for leaning against you when I'm pushing myself down. I love and honor you as a friend, a necessity, and a creation of Mother Earth. You've been through it all, and yet you stay put because you know this too shall pass. And if the time comes when you are loosened from the ground, you know it's not that you are falling, but that it's simply time to move and to your next journey and location in life. Oh, I love that, Dana. That is really beautiful. And what I got from that is basically like saying you're not falling. You know, when you feel like you're falling or you feel like you're out of control, you're not. You're actually just being pushed or promoted to move on to the next stage of your life. I love that line about that being the next journey and location in life. If The Rock can do it, you can do it, you know? That's real. I like that line a lot. And I like the honesty about just like, it's so hard to, you know, it's funny too, because like, you know, the advice I'm able to give or the insight that I'm able to give or the abilities I'm able to use for other people, a lot of times it's so hard for me to use for myself. And this poem actually, like, part of that really expresses that, because it's been hard for me to express to people where it's like, I'm just a human and I have my own journey. I'm like The Rock. And even though The Rock does amazing things, it holds up mountains, or it's part of, you know, it's like it does all these things, it still can crack off and fall, but The Rock just keeps on going. So that's really cool. I love that, Dana. Well, Dana, honestly, keep sharing your poems because your writings are beautiful. And she had mentioned to me too that sometimes she'll just get inspired by spirit to write, because she has this as well. Like she has like connectivity. You know, she has her, you know, not to go deep into her backstory, but her mother also is connected in a very spiritual way, with, you know, abilities and insights and all that kind of stuff. So I have often told her that she also has that. I've done readings for her, and in those readings, remember that came up, Dana. Anyway, love you. Thank you for always being a shiny crystal, shiny rock in my life. And thanks for sharing. So, Dana, you are our shiny rock of the week. Keep being you, boo. All right. So, with that being said, let's move on to our reincarnate or reincarnate. So, this week I'm doing shoe and a gold chain / diamond ring. So, do I want to be a shoe? It's so funny because I took off my sneakers just now because I felt a little warm. And now I'm like, oh, you know, do I want to be that sneaker? So let me honestly, like, really like connect to this. Like, because I know it might sound ridiculous to some people, but if my energy wanted to experience being a shoe, well, the first thing I'm going to say is I don't know if that's fabulous, because stinky feet. I'm not like a foot fetish person. So there's nothing appeasing me there. You're being walked on all the time. Oh, I feel like a shoe is a rough go, even if you're like a cute shoe. Maybe some of you girls, you love your shoes, right? Like some girls love like a high heel or a flat, or they're just very into shoes. So maybe then you could be a pretty shoe, or you could be a very loved shoe. But at the end of the day, these boots are made for walking, you know, like that is a lot. Like to be constantly being stepped on and feeling the elements of the floor. I mean, shoes are actually probably the toughest, you know, one of the toughest things to be. Literally, like they're made of leather or they're made of whatever. I don't know. I'm not a fabrinista. But yeah, a shoe feels rough. And then, like, you know, when you're a kid, you know, you got to learn how to tie the shoelace. So then, like, kids hate shoes probably because I don't want to tie my shoes. I hate tying my shoes. Like, I remember when I was a kid, my shoes always were like it was like a drama. Like, oh my God, I have to put these things on. Like, I just wanted to run out the door with my socks on. So I don't want to be something that like someone's avoiding or doesn't really like, especially a kid, you know? Yeah, shoe is definitely a rough go. And I mean, some people like the smell of a fresh shoe. I don't. I'm not into that. Like, it feels, well, sometimes I do like the smell of a fresh shoe, but then it's a little chemically. Jay, you love the smell of a fresh shoe because Jay loves sneakers. He loves having those new things. So, you know, he might like, yeah, if I was going to come back as a shoe, maybe I would be Jay's shoe because he loves his sneakers and all that kind of crap, all his little material stuff. Yeah, I don't think I would want to be a shoe. Also, you know why I don't want to be a shoe? Because also there's like a million of the same shoe. I don't want to be just one in a million. Like, oh yeah, sure, you're that shoe and we've made millions of them. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to reincarnate. I definitely don't want to be a shoe. A sneaker, a shoe. You don't want to be like a drag queen's shoe because those bitches, they be pounding on that shit. They be stomping around on them shoes. Like those shoes, if there's ever a shoe that's been worked, a basketball player and a drag queen. So yeah, no, reincarnate. I don't want to be a shoe. I'm going to pass on that. Gold chain. I definitely, as of now, before I start getting into it, I think I would want to be a gold chain because a gold chain is around someone's neck. They love their chain. I've yet to meet a person who hates their gold chain. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't be wearing it. So you're definitely held in a high regard if you're a gold chain. You're shiny. I definitely love being shiny. Although it would have to be a real gold chain. I don't want to be a fake gold chain making your neck green. Yeah, a gold chain definitely sounds like a reincarnate because it's loved, it's beautiful, it has meaning to it. Oh my God, gold chains get passed down in generation. You don't just like I have a gold chain that my parents gave me when I was in, was it sixth grade? Sixth grade gold chain. It doesn't fit anymore because I was a kid, so I gave it to my nephew. You know, so they get passed down, the gold chains, you know, like people pass away, then they give it, you know, they give their family, or like if you're like an uncle or an aunt and you want to give your niece or nephew your gold chain. Yeah, gold chains they're loved and adored, they're cherished. So I would 100% be a gold chain. I would definitely reincarnate into a gold chain. I think I keep getting a hit that like I would want to be a heavy gold chain. The gold chain I had that I gave to my nephew was a light gold chain in weight. I would want to be a heavy gold chain. Like I want you to know that you're wearing me. Like I want to be part of your experience. I want you to remember it during the day. Oh, I got this chain on. Like if I'm going to be a gold chain, I'm going to be a heavy ass gold chain. Yeah, I'm not going to be like some little like dinky. No, I'm going to be like, you're going to know. Like it's me, and it's like how I have my dog with me all the time. You're going to know like, oh, I'm wearing this chain. So yeah, I would totally. And then I wrote diamond ring. So that would probably be like an engagement ring. Even though I think engagement rings are ridiculous, don't come for me. Because I think it's ridiculous. I get it, girls. Like, listen, if I was a girl, I would be loving my diamond ring, but it just feels like you can spend that money on something else. It's a lot of money, and then you have to insure it. It's just crazy. I think it's a ridiculous thing. And the guy, he's got, oh, give me. I think it's a little, you heteros get a little dramatic, and I think that's a little bit too much. The ring thing. You could spend that money on something else, So anyway, but as it is, would I be yeah, I guess I would be a jewelry. I would definitely come back as jewelry. I think that's so the Italian in me. Like we love our jewelry, not anymore, but I used to love my jewelry. Now I'm more earthy, so I don't really wear jewelry. Although I do have a ring that I wear in readings, but it's a stone. It's a stone ring that protects me from negative energy. It's an Archangel Michael ring. So it's definitely something that I use only for readings. But yeah, I would be a diamond ring, even though I'd rather be the wife, like I'd rather come back as her rather than the ring. But if I can only be the ring, I would be the ring. Would I be a diamond ring? I'm just saying yes automatically, but I feel like the more I think about it, it feels like I feel cheap for some reason. Like, I feel like being that diamond ring, even though it's loved by the woman and everyone gawks at it, and I just feel like the purpose behind it feels a little cheap. So I don't know. Like, I feel like it's like, and then if somebody gets a small diamond, then people are like, oh, it's so small. Like, ew, like, don't judge people's diamond, you know? And then there's all this backstory about like how diamonds, that there's like slavery attached to diamonds. I don't know. I don't know any of that, but like, I do know that I guess I would like it because it's shiny and beautiful, but I don't like the backstory behind it. So, yeah, I think my instinct is saying I'm going to reincarnate on the diamond ring. I don't really like the superficiality of it. I got to stand by that. As who I am today as Taurus, I don't like the superficiality. I don't like it just feels very like, oh, this is a sign of our love. No. My love is a sign of my love, not the ring. So, yeah, no. So I'm going to reincarnate. I'm going to reincarnate on the gold chain. I'm going to reincarnate on the diamond ring because I don't like its history and I don't like the whole hoopla of it. Again, don't come for me. If it makes you happy, I love you and I love your happiness for it. But as a Taurus, as Thomas, in this state of mind, I don't want to be that. So, shoe, reincarnate, that's for sure. Gold chain, reincarnate. Diamond ring, sorry, boo, reincarnate. All right, well, let's move on to our Oh Wise One. Now, send me, I've had some submissions. Send me, like I said, this one is a typed out one. You could just type it. If you're feeling like you want your voice, go for it. But the voice note astrology section is really the voice note. Oh Wise One is just type it out to me, write it. So this one, let's see what we got for the Oh Wise One today. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Hi, Thomas. I love the podcast. It really is such a positive and fun show. Oh, thank you. My question is about dreams. What's your take? Are they the window to spirit? Ooh. Okay. How do I feel about dreams? So here's how I feel about dreams. Yes, spirit can use a dream to come and communicate with you, but my feeling about dreams is not complicated. I think it really is just a biological thing. I think it is just your brain playing things out. I think it's your brain filtering memories. It could be, sometimes your dreams are more specific or more detailed because it could be of stress. You could just be getting a deeper sleep. You could have had too much sugar and then you have a wild dream. So I do believe a lot of dreaming is just a biological, scientific type of, it's your brain. But I do think that because I guess you're like sort of unconscious when you're sleeping, that a spirit, if they feel, see, this is how I've always explained it or felt it. I think some spirits might use the dream time period, not necessarily because it's dreaming, but it's like because you're sleeping and you're not reactive. They can come in and maybe like try to communicate with you or like see you or let you feel them. That's a big one. If you ever have a dream about a loved one and you like felt them so intensely, I think that's purpose. That's on purpose. That's purpose. There's a reason for that. I think that the spirit does that purposely. But then, like I said, I think that there are times that you could just be dreaming about that person. And it's because it's your brain letting things out or unfiltering. So I think, yes, I think spirit can use it as an opportunity. It's more of an opportunistic moment rather than dreams are that. Like, I don't believe that like every time we're dreaming, we're in like spirit world. I don't think that. Although they do say now I said that like when I'm like in mediumship or I'm doing something like that, I try to get myself in the almost like maybe like a dream-like state, you know, or I would say the deeper I am in that state, the better connection I have. So there is a little bit of that, I guess I would say. Yeah, I think it's that they just use it as the opportunity because you're not necessarily like when you're awake, some people can't handle a spirit talking to them or like visiting them. So they're not going to do that. So for some people, they know, okay, they're sleeping. Now's the time I can kind of enter it. But honestly, I think for the most part, dreams are just a human body experience. But like I said, I do think that spirit can use that as an opportunity if they don't feel like you're comfortable enough for them to talk to you while you're awake. they might say this might be easier on them if they're sleeping. That's how I see that. I do like the idea of like the images in your dream. I like dream interpretation. That's really cool to me. Dream interpretation. I wonder if we can get into that on the podcast. Dream interpretation. Message me if you think that would be a cool segment, like maybe interpreting dreams. I would have to, because I have had people say to me, how come it would be cool if you did dream interpretation. And I'm like, I don't know much about the interpretations of dreams, so I don't want to just be like winging it. I would want to like read up a little bit on it or get a little more educated on dream interpretation before I started talking on it. So that's why I haven't done it. But now that I am talking about it, I think it could be cool. I'm going to start looking more into dream stuff because I love the symbolism and what does that mean and analyzing a dream and trying to figure it out. It would be actually nice maybe if I had a dream person on the podcast, like someone who, like that's their expertise. That could be interesting. So we'll start here. If anyone who's on Long Island or anywhere in New York and they're willing to come on and they know, like you're an expert on dreams, hit me up. Or if you know someone who's an expert and they could come on the show, we can maybe do it on Zoom, but if they can come in person, that could be cool too. But reach out to me. That could be something fun. All right, cool. All right, well, let's go to our sponsor, Christine. Okay, so remember, wise ones, send me in questions. Christine Louisi at Collective Beauty Skincare Studio in Malvern. Like we say every week, we love her. You got to visit, get a gift card. I know the holidays are over, but now I'm like, you know what? You can get a gift card for someone's birthday. But Christine's such an amazing, like I said, esthetician. She does the eyebrows. She does the skin. She does laser hair removal, all that good stuff. Collective Beauty Skincare Studio in Malvern. Check her out. We love her. All her information is in the bio of each episode, so just check it out. You could text her. Very simple. And we love her. So check her out. All right, let's go on to our voice note astrology.
Hey, Thomas. I have another question for you for the end of your podcast. My husband and I have a 2-year-old little boy, and we're thinking about having more babies. And so I thought you might enjoy predicting or talking about what signs would match up with our family. I'm not going to hold myself to exactly what you say. I'm not going to put that pressure on myself, but I just thought it would be a fun little question. My husband is a Cancer dad. He is true Cancer, emotional, kind, giving, super thoughtful. He's just the best dad. And I am a Leo sun, a Scorpio rising, a Virgo moon, and our little boy is a Libra sun, Aquarius rising, Scorpio moon, and he's 2. So, yeah, tell me what you think. Okay, bye.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I love that. See, even hypotheticals are fun too. So, all right. So the husband's a Cancer. She is a Leo with moon in Virgo, Scorpio rising. That's great. Those are 3 very strong signs. And the sun is a Libra, Scorpio moon, Aquarius rising. The dad being a Cancer, we don't know the moon rising. So he's just the very water emotional. Let's see. So what I will say is you all have the water placement. You have Scorpio, your son has Scorpio, he has Scorpio. So right away, I'm going to say, let's maybe try to get this baby to be you know what I think would be nice? A Scorpio sun. I like sun sign Scorpio. I would love if you had a girl baby. If she's a girl baby, let's try to make her a Scorpio sun. Oh my goodness. You know me. I love my Scorpio females. We can't do the moon and rising for her because that would just be like chaotic, me trying to figure out how to make there are astrologers that can help you. They do that. There are people who use astrologers to plan baby when they're going to have a baby. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, I wish you would have done that for me. Like, give me all the best of the best, Even though I'm not hating on my signs. I love Taurus, moon in Pisces, rising Aquarius. But that moon in Pisces, rising Aquarius for me, even though it gives me my magic, it's stressful and it's hard. And I love the Taurus part of me. And like I said, I love the other parts, but it's hard. So yeah, I would say visit like somebody who really, it's not a crazy thing to like say, you know what, people like plan things about their babies. Why not when they're going to be put on earth? Like, why not plan when the baby is going to come into the universe? If you're going to plan, if you're just going to like let the romance fly and whatever happens, that's great too. But if you're going to plan, shit, why not plan this, where the planets are when your baby enters the galaxy? If it's a girl, Scorpio sun, honey. Oh my God. Sun in Scorpio if it's a girl. If it's a boy, I think I would say you have a sun already and he's a Libra and a Scorpio and Aquarius. And oh my gosh, I'm going to say if it's a boy, honey, let's do a Taurus. If you have another, you said you're going to have a couple of kids. So I'm assuming that you're going to, well, you won't know the sex of it until it's bacon in the thing. So I guess we can't choose. Oh, well, that's the scary part. Because if we have a Scorpio boy, then you know how they come with drama and luggage. And if it's a Taurus girl, love my Taurus girls, but sometimes they could be a little rough and tough, a little brutish. Taurus boys are a little more, even though we're a little brutish, we have more femininity to it. Taurus girls could be a little brutish. But either way, you know what? I'm going to say because you're a Leo with Virgo. Oh my God. Yeah, girl. If you had a Taurus child, you know what? Let's just this way, since we don't know if they'll be boys or girls, try to have a Taurus. But it gets a little like playing with fire because you could miss and have a Gemini. We love a Gemini, but they can be a little wacky. And oh, girl, yeah. See, this is playing with fire because if you're going for the Taurus and you miss and you wind up with an Aries or a Gemini, woof. Aries boys, they're rough and they could be a lot. And then Gemini girls, we love a Gemini girl, but I bet you every Gemini girl you talk to, they would themselves even say all the things that are going on in my mind are too much. So Gemini girls is a tough placement for girls. Gemini boys, they're just like out there wheeling and dealing, having fun, not really, they're very lighthearted, but Gemini girls come with depth and their minds don't stop. So if you're going to try for the Taurus, you better get that bullseye. So yeah, I would say Taurus or Scorpio. Those would be your two best bets with the placements that you're showing me here, because Aquarius and Scorpios are good. And that's your sun's rising. Libra and Taurus is good. Scorpios are good with Tauruses as well. And then your husband being the Cancer, Taurus and Scorpio would be good for him. So Taurus better, more so, because Scorpios can be intense for Cancers, but they're water in general. So the water usually gets, they can live with each other. So yeah, Scorpio or Taurus for the next two kids, try to aim for those. And with the Scorpio, if you miss, then you get a Libra or a Sagittarius. The Libra we could work with, but you know how I am about them Sagittarius boys. Well, you know what? Sagittarius boy, if you're not dating them, they're great. They're fun-loving, they're fun, they're adventurous. Yeah, they're like not bad kids. I mean, they can't, they're easygoing. So, you're not dating your kid. So it's actually fine if it's a Sag. So yeah, Scorpio and Taurus babies. Go for it, girl. Thank you so much. That was fun. I love that one. That was fun. And say hi to your little Cancer husband. Give him a kiss for us. We love a Cancer man. All right. Well, final thought today. Well, as we have entered 2026, I had an annoying thing happen with my dog's health insurance. I'm not going to get into it because it just irritated me. So I would say, let's try to just be the light. 2026. It's like, try to let things go. If something, like the insurance company, they're being shiesty. So let it, do what you have to do, deal with it. But like, we're not going to let it bother us. We're going to, for everyone out there, find your light when you're feeling dark or like, you're not happy or you're feeling like depressed or, things aren't vibing your way or you're not in a place in your life that you want to be. Literally find your light. Let the light lead you. Be like, envision white light shining around you, and let it just lead you, and say to yourself, like, you know, if someone pisses you off and you want to tell them to go fuck themselves, just be the light. Say to yourself, I'm going to be the light. I'm going to be the light. You know, like, honestly, it works. Try it. Say to yourself, I'm going to be the light. I'm being the light. Even if you have to say it in like I'm the fucking light, you know, like, it's okay. You're a human. But I say that to a lot of us because, you know, there's darkness everywhere, and every human experiences it. So that's what I would say for everybody. Try to be the light when you can. Obviously, there's going to be many times you can't, and that's life, and we all got to go through it, but be the light and be the rock. Be the light and the rock, baby. Caught between a rock and a light. All right, my loves. Well, thank you so much for being here, and welcome back. And here we are. Send in your submissions. Send in your voice note astrology. Send in your Oh Wise One, and send the podcast to your friends. Show your friends the podcast. So, love you guys. Also, follow us on all the social media. Thomas Dale 5 on Instagram, but Crusty Crystals Podcast on Instagram. TikTok, we are Crusty Crystals Pod or The Wanderers. And Facebook is Thomas Dale 5, I believe, but who the hell's on Facebook, really? But that's it. And visit Florid Media if you ever need a photographer, or if you want to do a podcast of your own. Florid Media, Jay Belsky, we love him. Happy New Year, everybody. Be the light.